Arriving felt like a true adventure. Welcome to Ned Voyage. The air was different here. It was clean. It was pure. It tasted of pine and damp earth. We left the car behind. The gravel crunched under our boots. We followed a small, winding path deeper into the woods. Every step took us further from the noise and the rush. Then, we saw it. I looked up and up. There it was, a house nestled high in the arms of a giant old tree. It looked like it had grown there naturally. It was a part of the forest itself. The sunlight filtered through the leaves above. It created dancing patterns on the forest floor. It made the whole scene look magical. The journey up was an adventure in itself. Instead, a sturdy spiral staircase wound its way around the massive trunk of the tree. It was made of solid wood. It felt strong and secure under my feet. With each step, the ground fell further away. The world started to look different. I placed my hand on the bark of the tree as I climbed. I could feel its rough texture. I could feel the life pulsing within it. As we climbed higher, the forest floor transformed. What looked like a carpet of leaves from below became a detailed landscape. We passed the halfway point. Now we were level with the smaller trees. Finally, we reached the top. A solid wooden platform served as the front porch. It was a balcony in the sky. Opening that heavy door was a moment of discovery. The inside of the treehouse was incredible. It smelled wonderful. The scent of cedar and pine filled the air. It was a warm and welcoming space. The walls were all wood. You could see the grain and the knots. There was a large bed in the center of the room. It was covered with a thick, cozy quilt. Large windows looked out in every direction. They were like picture frames for the living art of the forest. But the best part was the way the tree was part of the room. A huge, thick branch passed right through the corner of the space. It wasn't cut away. The room was built around it. You could reach out and touch it. It was a constant reminder that you were sleeping in a living thing. As the day began to end, we sat on the small balcony. The sunset from up here was unlike any I had ever seen. The sun began its slow descent. It looked like a giant ball of fire sinking into the horizon. The light changed from bright yellow to a deep, warm orange. It painted the entire sky with incredible colors. The light filtered through the leaves of the canopy. It created a magical effect. The whole forest seemed to glow. The first star appeared. It was a tiny, brilliant speck of light in the growing twilight. Sitting there, high above the ground, I felt a deep sense of peace. The beauty was overwhelming. As darkness finally settled, the forest came alive with a new set of sounds. The first thing I noticed was the wind. It whispered through the leaves of our tree. It made a soft, rustling sound. Then, the insects started their chorus. The steady chirping of crickets rose from the ground below. I heard the distant hoot of an owl, a mournful, lonely call that echoed through the trees. I stood on the balcony, listening intently. Every sound told a story. The treehouse itself made its own quiet sounds. The wood would occasionally creak and groan. The darkness in the forest was total. It was a deep, rich blackness that you never experience in the city. In a town or city, there's always a glow. Streetlights, buildings, and cars create a constant orange haze in the sky. When I turned off the light in our room, the blackness was immediate and complete. After a few minutes, my eyes adjusted. I could start to see the faint light of the moon. I went out onto the balcony to look at the sky. It was breathtaking. Without the light pollution of the city, the stars were magnificent. The Milky Way stretched across the sky like a giant shimmering cloud. Sleeping in the treehouse was a unique experience. Lying there, high up in the canopy, I felt a deep sense of security. The gentle swaying of the tree in the night breeze was subtle. It was like being rocked to sleep in a giant, gentle cradle. I woke up once in the middle of the night. The room was bathed in soft moonlight. Waking up was a gradual and beautiful process. The first thing I noticed was a change in the light. Then the birds began to sing. It started with a single tentative chirp. Then another joined in. Soon the entire forest was filled with the sound of the dawn chorus. It was incredible. The sky in the east was glowing with color. Soft shades of pink and orange were spreading across the sky. I watched the sun finally break over the horizon. The first rays of sunlight touched the top of our tree. The forest came to life with light and sound. Starting the day like this felt like a gift. All adventures must eventually come to an end. It was time to leave our nest in the sky. The journey down the spiral staircase was a different experience from the climb-up. This experience was more than just a night in a quirky hotel. It was a reset. It leaves you with a longing to return to the trees. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment in the comment section. Bye for now.